Hello, and welcome to this month's edition of ISLINGTON IMAAnd. ISLINGTON IMAAnd is the monthly podcast series about the cultural life and times of one of the UK's most beloved artist-led creative hubs, Salford's Islington Mill. And I am your host, the Nihilist. For this month's, the September edition of ISLINGTON IMAAnd, I am very excited to be bringing you guys an interview with three of the people involved in the Islington Mill Art Academy. Talking about the cultural life and times of Islington Mill, Islington Mill Art Academy, which also goes by the abbreviated name of I.M.A.A, is a project that has been brewing for years at this stage, but is currently in a very exciting phase. The Islington Mill Art Academy is, in a nutshell, a free to attend art school that is open to the public, but is specifically set up for people who may not have had the resources to attend an official art school at any point in their life, or for those who have attended art school and who feel that they have skills that they'd like to share with people in the Islington Mill community. I'm not going to go on for too long in this introduction about what I.M.A.A, the Islington Mill Art Academy, is, because my guests Sam, Russell and Sophie do a really good job of explaining what it is. But I would like to say that it is a very exciting time here at Islington Mill now that this project is off the ground and running, and there are a number of dedicated spaces for this project to happen in, especially in New Islington Mill, which is on the other side of the courtyard than the traditional Old Islington Mill. I guess, is that what we're calling it? Because New Islington Mill, or maybe the original Islington Mill, which is a space that so many people are familiar with, and a lot of those people who are familiar with the old Islington Mill may not have seen or been into or experienced the new half of Islington Mill that's opened up, New Islington Mill. Anyway, I'm waffling now and I need to stop that. This is the September edition of Islington IMAAnd, a very exciting podcast about the Islington Mill Art Academy. Okay, I'm going to hand myself over to myself. Let's go. Okay, we are here in the almost finished, but not quite finished, new Dead Air studio in Islington Mill, and I'm joined by three guests. We're here to talk about the Islington Mill Art Academy. Before we do that, I'm going to go around the room and get you to tell me who you are and why you're here. So we'll start with yourself.
I'm Soph. I'm here to talk about Killer Christmas.
Killer Christmas, cool.
I'm Russell. I'm here to talk about the Islington Mill Art Academy.
Okay.
And I'm Sam. I'm here to talk about just about anything, really.
Anything good? I'm sure this conversation is going to go all over the place. But to start, we are here to talk mostly about Islington Mill Art Academy, which in shortened parlance we call I.M.A.A. Is that right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to start with the big question. Can somebody tell me, what is Islington Mill Art Academy?
So the Islington Mill Art Academy is a free peer-led art school that was started in 2007 as an alternative to university, going to art school.
Okay.
When tuition fees were introduced, and also as a response to a few problems in the established art schools in universities.
Mm.
And so it's consensus decision making led. It's nobody in particular is in charge at the top of it.
Okay.
We all, there's no teachers and pupils, we all bring something to the table. We all teach each other and share our skills and our resources, and have come together to form a community of artists, different kinds of artists, that all support each other in our growth as creatives.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you might actually say that in terms of like what type of artists or what level of artists, you don't actually even need to be an artist. If you're just interested in coming into a space to explore your creativity, or you may well be, say, a painter with a studio level painter that's kind of doing really well. It can be anything, to be honest. It's about coming into the same space and exploring creativity. And that's where the community aspect of it comes in, as well as, and that sits right alongside the sense of a peer-led school.
Right, okay. Have any of you guys been to actual, like, art school?
Oh yeah, so I did a fine art degree
Okay.
at Lancaster University.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're aware of kind of the problems of art school? Is that a
Oh.
way to put it?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. What are the problems that you would like I.M.A.A to get beyond, you know what I mean, or to solve in a way, in terms of the difficulties of an actual, quote, professional art school, and then the difference between what I.M.A.A is doing around that?
That's a really good question. So I think part of it is the structure of I.M.A.A is a lot more freeform. You can participate in it based on what you're able to do. There's no requirement for you to attend a certain amount.
Okay.
You can dip into it as suits you.
Mm-hmm.
So that makes it a lot more accessible to people who have other things going on in their lives, who might have disabilities that lead to their capacity varying to some degree.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I think that it allows the focus to be much more on pursuing your art practice or your creative practice or whatever it is that you want from this community, in your own way, on your own terms.
Okay.
Without there being external pressure that can be that, you know, when we pursue our own creativity, we want that to come from our intrinsic motivation, from our own internal drive as artists, our curiosity and our interests and our desire to create, rather than trying to impress a tutor or to achieve a grade or to meet a deadline.
Right.
We're focused purely on what it is that we're trying to accomplish or participate in, engage in.
Cool.
Creatively.
Can I ask you guys what your individual practices are then?
I'm a writer, and I play with other things.
Mm-hmm. What other things?
Well, I'm really liking paper mache at the minute.
Okay.
I've regressed into a child, and I'm enjoying my childlike tendencies at the minute.
Is that something that like I.M.A.A has facilitated for you?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I definitely wouldn't have thought of picking up some bits of scrap piece of paper and glue and making a hat or a volcano, depending on your interpretation of it.
A volcano hat?
Apparently so. Apparently that's what I'm making.
Is it going to spew something when you put it on?
Maybe metaphorically.
Yeah, that is the plan. It's gonna have smoke coming out of it. So.
Okay, well you wear it.
No, it's not actually a hat.
Some
thinks it's a hat.
Oh.
It's not a hat. It's a very obvious volcano, apparently.
Okay.
But Sam keeps saying it's a hat. But now that you said it, now all I can see is a hat.
It's a hat. I think the idea of a volcano hat is pretty cool.
I know. So I think I might have to build a sculpture.
Yeah.
So it can be worn as well.
Yeah.
But it's to go with the poem that I wrote. So I'm gonna have the poem played from within it.
Okay, cool. And is this for any specific show, or is it just
for shits and gigs?
Cool. So that seems from what I'm hearing about I.M.A.A, it seems very much like non-prescriptive, do what you want to do, and explore where your brain takes you, as opposed to... Because the thing is, I've never been to art school either. I studied film when I was in college and university, and I had a lot of friends. I went to Glasgow to do all that, and I had a lot of friends who went to the Glasgow School of Art, and there was always a part of me that was a bit like low-key jealous about what was going on there, because being surrounded by that many other people who had the same kind of vague interests, but also the same kind of lifestyle is a bit of a word, but like artists basically was something that I always felt was like something that I would have liked to be able to partake in, but I didn't. And also like the film course that I went on wasn't very good really. It was like a kind of like an extended module of an English literature course in a way, which is fine. This is like 25 years ago when this was happening as well, so it could have changed by now. But I've always felt a bit like, oh, I missed out on going to art school and stuff. So the idea of I.M.A.A sounds very exciting to me. But anyway, back to art practices. You've already told us that you're a visual artist. Is there anything else?
Yes. Yeah. So I am a painter, drawer. I also do write some poems and songs. I play some music.
Okay.
Like to dabble, but yeah, I think of the visual art as my primary thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Sam?
Yeah, I'm a fiction writer. That's kind of what I do. But actually, before I came to I.M.A.A, I'd never really been into working art studios in any way. So actually, watching other people doing other types of artistic practice and how that is being done and thought about has been an amazing journey for myself. And then earlier this year, I collaborated with a couple of artists and ended up doing a kind of small performance piece. Something I've never done. It used some of my words, but it used other stuff as well. So and then just looking across, going into I.M.A.A on any particular day and seeing actually the range of different types of art practice that's going on. It's painting and sound recording and music making, writing. There's some woodworking stuff going on. There's dressmaking. So you've got all these things going on, and so you've got the opportunity, like through things on a Wednesday and a Saturday, to actually try some of these out yourself as well, or to even see how they might integrate or connect with your own practice.
Sure. I think quite a lot of the listenership of the podcast have been to Islington Mill and are fairly au fait with the physical layout and the geography of the space. However, it has changed in the last couple of years. Could you guys tell me, I know this is a bit of a weird question maybe, but like, where is I.M.A.A in terms of situated within the actual buildings of Islington Mill? Like, where does it take place?
So we're on the ground floor. If you just how to describe it, through a courtyard.
This is so for absolute clarity, this is a new Islington Mill.
Yeah.
Which is the building, for the people who may be listening to this who haven't been down in a couple of years, when you come out into the courtyard now, the building opposite, which wasn't historically part of Islington Mill, now is. And that is where I.M.A.A is based, is it?
Yeah, in New Islington Mill. Yeah, they've renovated new workshop space within that building. Okay.
And are all the different, like, you're talking about all, like, dressmaking, everything, is all of that contained within I.M.A.A? Sorry, just to get, I'm going to get my terms. I.M.A.A, but also NIM. Sorry, that's what it says. New Islington Mill New Islington Mill is the newish building in terms of the expansion of Islington Mill, the one that's kind of across the courtyard. That's where I.M.A.A is. Is everything contained that people might need for whatever they want to choose to follow in their practice within NIM?
Well, that's a question, isn't it?
Yes. Okay. So I think what happens is quite often people bring some of their own materials. Like for example, me, when we were looking at a performance piece, I'd never done anything like that. So basically, there's usually somebody within the community who's got something that you can use, or if they're running, a kind of workshop, then they might actually bring enough materials for everybody to participate.
Okay,
so
cool.
It's usually pretty. It's about communication. It's usually pretty well organised in that sense.
Okay.
And the space itself is kind of divided up into kind of like, there's an open plan space which anybody can use, and then there are also kind of individual booths which you can rent for 3 or 4 months, so short-term rent, really at a really affordable price. And so somebody might have a table for 3 or 4 months. So there's a few of those. So it's kind of quite, and there's also lockers. So you might use the open plan space, but you can actually kind of have a locker and keep your stuff in there when you're not there.
Right, cool.
It's really quite fluid, and but it definitely feels like a studio where a lot of different things happen.
Yeah, because as you guys can probably tell, music is my thing. I saw yourself playing the piano the other day. Is there quite a lot of music for people who like?
Yeah, we've got Timu. He's a really good musician.
Come on, Sophie, you can't be saying that on the podcast.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I was just slipping the tongue. Yes, Temi plays pretty much everything. He's actually really talented. He can just listen to a song and then pick up the tune, which is very cool. Yeah,
jealous.
Yeah, it's very cool. I think we've got a couple of bassists. I just play. I just irritate people with with songs.
You're a great pianist, so don't play yourself down.
And Temi is like looking towards kind of setting up some drumming lessons. So drumming workshops, which may not take place in that space. It might actually take place in what was the club space,
right? Okay.
On the other side of Islington Mill.
Ah, okay. This is kind of what I was meaning about, like where the the modules or whatever you want to call it of I.M.A.A might be happening. So some stuff will be happening in the X Club space and perhaps the gallery as well, is it?
Yes, and actually some workshops do take place in the gallery.
Right.
Already, and potentially could also take place on the 5th floor, which is like the intentional home. So there's kind of all those connections being looked at.
It's not constrained to NIM.
No. And some Wednesdays we have 2 workshops on, so one will be in I.M.A.A room, and then one will be in the gallery or wherever it needs to be.
But it's based. The core base is in NIM.
Yeah.
And that is called I.M.A.A now?
Yeah.
That floor, cool.
That room, that whole space is called I.M.A.A. And the other thing is there's also quite a few people who can't get in all the time, who can't get in at all.
Sure.
And so all of our workshops and all of our Wednesdays and Saturdays are available to kind of join online through Zoom.
Oh, okay, cool. Is there going to be an archive of stuff? Are they getting recorded as well?
Yeah, they all are being recorded, yeah.
Cool. So even if you miss a particular day's session, you can still catch up on it.
Yeah, it's on our Discord thread, which I don't know how easy it is to give you a link.
You can give me a link and I'll put it in the show notes when it's done. You don't have to say the link now, but
I'll say generally speaking, we like for people to have joined for Discord once they've had the opportunity to come along in person,
right?
Or have a connection. So rather than putting that out into a public space, we have a place where we have the link on the wall, or you can just approach any one of us.
Okay, cool.
Ask for how do you get that information.
Well, to expand on that question then, how does a random punter get involved in I.M.A.A?
Come along on a Wednesday, 6 o'clock.
Yeah, or a Saturday.
Or a Saturday, anytime.
So does somebody want to talk about what happens on a Wednesday?
Yeah, sure. So on a Wednesday evening, starting at 6 o'clock, we will have a workshop. These are run by someone from I.M.A.A about whatever it is that their area of interest is. And that runs until 7:30. And at 7:30, we start the potluck, where everyone brings a dish to share, and we have an opportunity to socialise and get to know each other. So that's what we do on a Wednesday. Yeah,
and then there's a Saturday session as well, I believe.
Yeah.
Well, we're actually here on a Saturday today.
Yeah,
is a Saturday,
we are here on a Saturday, and it's. I think it's basically called Saturday Club, and that again is free for anybody to attend, and you just come down and do your thing, or maybe just see what's going on and take part in it.
So the Saturday session could be about anything. It's not.
Saturday's self-directed.
Okay.
So you just do your own thing. And Wednesdays are
more
directed workshops.
Right.
Yeah.
What workshops have you been doing on a Wednesday up to this point?
Last Wednesday we did a drawing one, about 4D graphite trees. I didn't go to that one. I was workshopping Killer Christmas. Oh, but you did a thingy.
Yeah, so that was one example of workshop we've had. What that was a sort of therapeutic process-based art workshop. We also have we've had a Foley workshop, which is making sound effects.
Okay.
For like film and video games and stuff like that.
Could you break that down a bit into like what happened in the workshop? Because that's really interesting to me.
Yeah, So that was led by Xander, who basically gave all of us the opportunity to participate in that. So we had like props and things like that, bits of celery sticks that we snapped and recorded to make like a bone-breaking sound effect, or we made some crowd sound effects. That was a second workshop we did actually for voice acting that Xander ran as well. And we recorded it and then played it over a bit of footage from a film or a game or something like that. Cool. In order to demonstrate that this is how sound effects are made and give us an opportunity to try it out and see how it's done and learn about the process.
Cool. Have you got any future Wednesday sessions already booked in terms of what people can expect in the next coming weeks? Yeah,
so actually I'll be running a sort of all abilities oil painting workshop. The focus
that was a good
crack.
Sorry, is that an oil painting?
Yeah, so I'm going to be running an oil painting workshop. The focus of that will be on colour theory and colour mixing for oil painting. So that will be for people. I'm aiming to make that accessible for people who have never oil painted before, but also people who have a fair amount of experience. And so that's one of the workshops that we're running. That one will be on the 8th of October.
Cool.
Can you remember any of the others that are coming up in the coming month?
Introduction to Sign Supported English.
British Sign Language.
No, it's not BSL.
Is it not?
That's what it's called, Sign Supported English.
Oh, okay.
Halloween. Oh no, it's not Halloween anymore. But on Halloween we're doing mask making. What else?
I could get them up on.
No, that's pretty good. I think that's kind of.
Yeah, I mean, I can do a link if it's already available in the public space, like on the website or something like that. I can just link to it.
Yeah, so the calendar is on the link tree.
Cool.
So there's a Google Calendar as well as the calendar on Discord.
And they're pretty much
and that's public.
They're already laid out all the way through until December, aren't they now?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, there's at least one thing on at least every week until through December, if not two.
Okay. And for the Saturday session, it's very much like a come as you are, do what you're interested in.
Yeah, that's right.
But will there be people, like, say you have a particular interest but you don't know how to follow it, and you came down on a Saturday, will there be people around for people to talk to about, like, I want to get into, for instance, Foley, I'm just going to use that. But say somebody comes down on a Saturday and is like, oh, I've heard that there was a Foley. Is there going to be people around for people to ask about, and just so people who might hear this and like, right, I'm going to do that, when they turn up on a Saturday, who do they speak to?
Well, on Saturdays, it's probably best if you want to come on a Saturday to check on the Wednesday before that someone's coming there. Because, because it's dependent on whoever's got a booth, if they're there on Saturday.
Okay.
Otherwise, it's locked.
Yeah, so potentially, so if somebody were to turn up on a Saturday interested in doing a specific thing, then there's for Foley in particular, that would really depend on whether Xander's there on any particular day.
Okay, yeah.
But there would be the potential there that they could get in touch.
Okay.
We could put you in touch with that specific person.
Yeah.
But otherwise, for a lot of general things, like if you're interested in more generally music or in visual art, then there's a pretty good likelihood that there'll be somebody around that you can chat to about it.
Right. Okay.
And if not, then that will be your path into it, right?
Right. Okay.
Yeah. Does that?
Yeah.
Sound like a satisfactory explanation?
Yeah, it does. But I'm also thinking if people have specific, rather than a general interest in turning up and seeing because they want to get involved, if people had a very specific thing that they wanted to find out about, it might be better to come on a Wednesday.
Yeah, I would say there's a much greater chance of being able to have a conversation with somebody connected to where your interest is through a Wednesday. And also you there's the social bit, there's that potluck bit as well. So you kind of you will get to see more people. But then Saturday, some people might want to drop into a slightly quieter space and just like check out the space and kind of see who's around and get the feel for it. Because I think there's another part of it isn't just the specific artistic practice, it's the community feel. And certainly it doesn't matter what your interest is, and actually it probably doesn't matter who is in or not. But the thing that is common throughout is the commonality is the community. So you would be welcomed on a Saturday, whatever your interests, and but it may be that you kind of maybe just pop in for an hour, get a feel for the place, like it, and then I'm going to come back on a Wednesday and find Xander about that particular thing or something like that. Yeah.
Okay, so this is maybe a bit of quite a heavy question, but you're talking about community and the sense of fostering a community, which is very important, and I'm totally behind that, and I believe in that as well. But also being aware of my own past and stuff that I've been to and stuff where it doesn't feel very welcoming and stuff. And can I just ask you about what are the elements of the community that you're hoping to foster in I.M.A.A? Because community is a very big, for me personally, it's a very big thing, but I also know that within the kind of, for want of a better word, the ideals or the remit of Islington Mill, community is a very big core value of Islington Mill. And how do you guys manage the community aspect of I.M.A.A?
So, for each iteration we've had of the Art Academy, we've had a climate creating meeting, which is where on a Wednesday evening, instead of a workshop, we have had a discussion about what kind of community environment we would like to foster. So that's something that maybe might change a little bit from iteration to iteration, but I'd say some of the values that have come out pretty consistently would be
caring, considerate, being trusting is on there, or trustworthy.
Yeah.
Just being a good egg, basically. But we all as a community decide together how we're gonna live by, for a better term.
And it's all written up. It's there on one wall, and we go back after about 5 weeks and check back in. Is that what we are we doing? Is that happening for us?
Yeah, I think there's also a lot of focus on inclusion. It's very heavily queer and neurodivergent space.
Cool. I would say. Yeah. It's really good for me to front load that, because what I'm trying to get at is my own experience of feeling a bit of alienation and going into academic spaces, especially around things that I'm passionate about myself, but you get the kind of feeling that this isn't actually for you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think it's very important in ideologically, what I'm talking about, with the mill and that kind of thing, to push against that, because I think that's something that a lot of people who've been through academia feel, no matter, because, like I said, I studied film in Glasgow, and it really put me off being a filmmaker. It was just, I don't want to go too in depth into my experiences there, but it wasn't even anything necessarily personal to me. It was just the whole vibe. It was just the whole vibe. And that's something that I carry with me in my own kind of experience of academia, in my personal history, is just that kind of, and I feel like there's quite a lot of people I speak to who are artists, particularly queer, marginalised, neurodivergent people who find themselves in an academic space and they feel like they're not being taken seriously, or their identity is being kind of, shunned, or they're not allowed to bring it up in a context because it's seen as distracting from the purpose of being there, which is rubbish, because we all have our identities, like, is who you are. And that's why I'm just bringing up that point about, like, those negative things about academia that I've experienced in the past, and, like, how is I.M.A.A. trying to deal with that stuff?
Go on,
I'm the newest, aren't I? Yeah. I joined the mill in general in August, and I've never felt like I've had to mask or not be exactly who I am. And I've never felt. It's always felt like a safe space.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
I wouldn't even worry about it.
Yeah. That's great to hear. I just want to get that stuff down on audio as well, because it is, for me, and I've, like, so many of my friends who, especially even later in life, who've gone back to studied art and stuff, and have faced, like, transphobia and racism and stuff, and it's just like, what the fuck is going on? Like, you know, in my head, as someone who never actually partook in art academy necessarily, I always felt like, oh, those spaces seem so free and cool, everyone's a weirdo, you know what I mean? But then hearing people's lived experiences of it, and they're like getting discriminated against and stuff, and it's just like, what the hell is going on there? So I did want to touch on that, and I really appreciate that you foregrounded that, like, marginal identities and neurodivergence and stuff like that is completely, there's an upfront level of being able to accept that and talk about that.
Yeah, totally. It's but by no means is it an exclusively neurodivergent space. Like, it's not. But that I would say that
everyone's welcome.
But we have I would say probably quite an unusually diverse group. We have people from every decade of adult life.
Right, cool.
All different ages, all kinds of different backgrounds.
Yeah.
Like people who come from different countries. We have people there's a real mixture in terms of identities, and everyone has, as far as I've observed, been welcomed the same way into the space. I know that when I came into the space, I felt immediately like I was set at ease, like this was somewhere that I would feel like I could just immediately come into it and be part of it.
Yeah. We were talking about the previous iterations of I.M.A.A, and also what's the iteration that it's at now?
Okay, so as I said, originally I.M.A.A was founded in 2007. During the COVID lockdown, that went on pause, and then that continued after the end of lockdown. So this is the second iteration of the new I.M.A.A, which has the new workspace that's been renovated in the new Islington Mill, which previous iterations didn't have. It's a bit of a reboot, so this is the second iteration.
Cool.
Yeah.
I think that we might have, because I've interviewed Bill a few times on this podcast previously, and I think we have talked about it, but I can really see, and that's why I wanted to make the point earlier in the interview about, like, where is it? Because I think if people haven't been down the mill in a couple of years, they don't even know that space exists over there. You know, and I think it is having that space there that facilitates.
Where was it before?
Well, what that was before, it was just a similar thing to Islington Mill, and that was just a group of people who had rented what was a fairly dilapidated space. Before, it wasn't like, I mean, you could walk through it, like where the doorway is now next to the smoking bit. Sometimes that was open and you could walk through that and go into the parking, and the other bits behind on Regent's estate. But in terms of what was in the building, I don't know. All I know that there was one person was running a gym, and then I think there were some band rehearsal spaces, and there was a person on the top floor called German who was doing, like, screen printing and stuff. So it was very similar in terms of, it was just a bunch of artists and a bunch of people who just had projects and they needed a cheap space that they could run it in and have the freedom to do it up themselves and stuff. But then it got folded into the overall Islington Mill project, and it's a lot more cohesive now, because it feels like, it just feels like you walk into the courtyard and everything you're looking at is part of the overall Islington Mill.
And where was was there an I.M.A.A, like, you know how we've got that set up, was there a space like that for the old I.M.A.A?
I think probably they would have used the gallery space for that in the past, and probably for some of the bigger things they could have used the club space But I think in the period when it would have been around for the first iteration, I think
at one point they used doing it on like one of the top floors.
I think they used the 5th floor in some of the early days before it was
Yeah.
even reworked.
Yeah, but like, I don't know if you guys were ever up there at that time. It's like,
I've seen pictures.
Yeah, it was like literally toxic in terms of there was loads of pigeon shit. There was loads of just like, it was used, but from my memory of Islington Mill, like that probably would have been more like there was a specific project set up, like we're going to do a show in the 5th floor, which they did. Every few years there was always some kind of show, like an exhibit happening of the various artists who work here would get their art up on display on the 5th floor. But the 5th floor was never really that practical to use in those terms because it was very decrepit, the roof was fucked, pigeons were living there, so it was covered in feathers and pigeon shit, and every time it got used, somebody had to go up, like they had to go up and have a mission of the mill community, clean it out so we can use it again. So I think actually...
We missed out.
Yeah. But I think now that we're having this discussion about I.M.A.A, this iteration of I.M.A.A is very much... It's been able to expand and get as good as it is because there's finally a space where it can happen, and it can be a dedicated space to it, not just a part-time space where you can do this for like this week, but then you need to go because there's going to be XYZ exhibition or a band playing or there's a tour happening or whatever, like all that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah, there's heating, there's a kitchen.
No pigeons.
No pigeons.
No pigeons, yeah.
We did once have a bird fly in.
I heard that. I thought a bird flew in recently. I heard
No
someone talking
pigeon.
about a pigeon flying into I.M.A.A recently.
I think it was a blackbird, a baby blackbird. It
Oh,
was very cute.
Yeah.
God, I hope it's not the same one that Pudding chased into the Delhi Lama.
It could be.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, that's covered quite a lot of, what I was wanting to ask about I.M.A.A, which is really good. Oh, before we get on to the last question, Sam, which I've already prepped you for because we had a little break there. You keep talking about
The Killer Christmas.
Yeah, what's that?
Okay, so on the 13th of December, it's the Mill's Open Day, and as the Mill, we'd like to put on the collective we. So sorry. We want to put on a walking horror performance around the Mill, which will have hopefully at that point a cohesive storyline. We haven't come up with that yet, and looking for as many people who want to get involved, have some blood, gore, horrific shit happen. Hopefully some sort of dead pigeon as well. That's what we're banking on.
If your dog does catch one, then there you go.
And most of the people at I.M.A.A are already getting involved in what they may do during that day. It's a special open day, isn't it? The 13th of December. It's the winter market as well. At Islington Mill. So that's a date to note for certain. 13th of December.
And just to make absolutely clear, is that also open to people who maybe don't do I.M.A.A but have studios
it's open to everyone.
Yeah.
I'm going to send out
open studios.
So I'm going to send out another email to see if anyone wants to come along and get horrific.
Yeah, because there's a couple of drag queens I think would love to do
The planning has started already.
Yes.
Cool, that's great.
That'll be cool.
That's great. So we're coming to the end of the interview now, and I don't know exactly how to do this, but we talked while there was a break going while people went to the toilet about, you made a very good point, Sam, about what differentiates I.M.A.A from academia. Can you...
Well, I think that's basically it, is that it's not academia.
Right.
That's for certain. And what it is though is it's a safe space, it's a playful space where you can come in, and this is about learning and development of yourself and your practice, I think. And that's how I see it. It's more about that, and it's learning from your peers. It's actually also gifting and giving things to your peers in all kinds of different ways to help their development as well. That's how I see it.
Cool. Any last words from anyone else? No? And just to ram the point home, if somebody's listening to this right now and they're like, I want to go to that,
Wednesday, see you on Wednesday. 13th December, come on 13th December.
Mm-hmm.
Come on Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
Come on Wednesday.
Every Wednesday.
Come whenever you want.
Yeah, 6 p.m. on a Wednesday is when we start our workshop. 7:30 for potluck.
Cool.
Yeah.
And Saturday art club is pretty much all day.
Okay.
Starting usually about 10 in the morning. People tend to get busiest around the afternoon. And it officially finishes at 5 p.m, but usually people end up staying a ways into the evening.
Yeah.
And if anyone likes it there and wants to get space there, there's still some booths and locker spaces that are still available.
And if you do have a booth or you've joined in some way, then you have 24-hour access to that place.
Oh, cool. For all the night owls.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And if you'd like to learn more about I.M.A.A, the Islington Mill Art Academy, please check the show notes to this podcast, Islington Mill and, where I'll be putting some more links for you to get more information. This has been the September edition of Islington Mill and I have been the Nihilist, and I'll be back next month with another podcast, so you'll be hearing from me then. Goodbye.